Hello everybody, Andy here from Glass Half Dead, the best kill team channel on YouTube, unless you are aware of literally any other kill team channel on YouTube. So hey, we have, in case you didn't see, a all new, everything's updated, every single thing. And it's not just a mistake, because we've even had the Sisyphus expedition mission update. So this was intentional. Or was it? So in case you don't know, sorry, let me go over the actual change that has been made, because they have made one change. And this is something I've obviously griped about before, which makes no sense whatsoever. But they have made a change to universal equipment, the smoke grenades specifically, and how that works. And it is a change, not just an accidental update they pushed. And because they have done that one change, every single data pack gets an update. Is this a smart and intelligent way to structure your rules? I'll leave that to you to decide. Shall we very quickly go over what that rules change is? Here we go. Let's zoom in on it. They have added, unless they're within 2 inches of each other. There you go. That's cool. So, so the balance update is weapons with the piercing 2 or piercing crits 2 weapon rule have the piercing 1 or piercing crits 1 weapon rule, respectively, instead. I think that is also a change, sorry, because if I recall, and I am making this up off the top of my head, smoke grenades have had 2 changes now. And now they don't reduce the piercing at all. They just change piercing 2 to piercing 1. Cool. I think that's good. Or I'm making that up and it's also always only been this. I don't know. But then it's unless they're within 2. So you get within 2, they're no longer obscured, blah, blah, blah. All good. Nice. Thumbs up. Good. Or at least if you're within 2, yeah, you get it. That's the change. And because of the way Kill Team structure is ruled, we'll look at the Sisyphus expedition in a moment, after I've proved a bunch of stuff about why this isn't intentional. But there you go. Cool. There you go. If you just wanted the rules update, that's it. And because they have changed one thing, which for some reason they've organized to be in every single tournament pack or data card pack, they've updated the entire range. All, how many, is it 46 teams? Something like that? Ridiculous number of teams. There you go. But that is the only change. I checked through every single one. That is the only change. Thumbs up. Cool. Hey, if you just wanted to know, we're done. All right, I'm now going to talk about why I think this was an accident and why we can expect more to come soon. Cool. But of course, before we get to that, I would like to give a subscriber-only benefit. So if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing now so that you can get this. And that subscriber-only benefit is a big double hello. Wow, so wholesome. Truly, the wholesomeness knows no bounds in the world of Glass Half Dead. Hey, if you like what I'm doing here, do consider checking out my affiliate links. If you want to buy some Warhammer, you should always click somebody's affiliate links. We all have them. It costs you nothing extra. And we get a little kickback. In the UK, Element, Wayland, Red October. In Canada, Northern Citadel. In America, Wargame Portal. That'd be awesome if you click my link. Thank you so much. Costs you nothing extra. And hey, if you're a kill teamer, do consider checking out the Crossfire all-in-one system or the GG Easy system. Me personally, you see these measuring sticks here? I literally cannot play the game without them now. They are the best. Cool. All right, with that said, go check them out. Oh, and on these ones, you actually get money off if you use my discount. So definitely use it in that regard. Or again, use somebody's. Doesn't have to be mine. Use somebody's. Right. So I want to just very quickly point out. So let's have a quick chat. Sorry. Was this intentional? No. 100% this was a mistake that GW pushed to the app. So if you recall in November, we had an FAQ errata update. Good, that was as planned. We then would expect about a month and a half later to get the balance update. We would expect that to be in January, middle of Jan, late Jan, probably middle. Middle of January is when we would expect it to drop, so just after Christmas. However, with the Christmas period, maybe they wanted to push it out early, so maybe this is the full balance update. That is possible. However, if we take a quick look at the Sisyphus expedition, it's releasing the 17th, which is a month after Dead Silence released, roughly, like 3 weeks, a month, I think. Cool, thumbs up. That now you might think, oh, that's a good time for it to release. It is. It is a good time. However, if we scroll down to other mission packs, you might notice Killzone Tomb World released last month, 19th of the 11th. Now, when did Killzone Tomb World actually release? About 3 months before that. And you might look at Typhon Mission Pack, and that released on the 27th of the 8th. However, Typhon Mission Packs released, the actual box, to those that bought it, released 3 months before that, in June. So, very roughly, this is a mistake. And we can know that by looking at the Killzone Tomb World release date and the Typhon Mission. I'm sure you could find it from the others as well, but these are the only two I looked into. The release dates of from the actual box, and then of course we have here when it was actually given to people's hands. So that's the thing, I guess. Although looking at that 19th of the 11th, 2025. Anyway, good enough. So clearly we can see here that this was released too early. In regards to their other Tomb World Killzone releases. Cool, that's fine. That's it. That's kind of the end of the sentence, really, I suppose. The other thing that I thought, okay, look, maybe GW is quite happy with where the game is. So they didn't want to give us additional updates, and they think the game's spot on. And so obviously the first thought is we need to check out Wolf Scouts and we need to check out Stealth Suits. Except those have only just released. So we actually would not expect buffs and nerfs to them unless they're absolutely glaringly ridiculous in either their strength or weakness in the first patch. In general, after a team's release, you need to wait 6 months until they get a buff or nerf. Again, unless it is egregious, as it was with Canoptech. So, aka, we would expect a buff or a nerf for those two teams. Probably a buff and a nerf, respectively. So there you go. But we didn't get those. Fine. But we all know that Canoptech and Deathwatch are probably going to get touched one way or the other in the next balance. So I also checked those, and they don't have an update. And honestly, it is that more than anything else that has convinced me that this was a mistake. There you go. End of sentence, really. Because you know what? It wouldn't be the craziest thing for GW to say, actually, we are happy with everybody's current win rates and how the game is. Fine. So, like, honestly, I'm not expecting that much from the next data slate. However, to not do anything to Canoptech, Deathwatch, Wolf Scouts, and Tau is mad. Absolutely mad. So, for that reason alone, this is a mistake. I would therefore fully expect that middle of Jan, so in a month's time or 3 weeks' time, we will get another update. Why did they push the smoke update? Again, I think pure mistake. I think alongside the Tesphus Expedition update, this was just an accident, but presumably it just got back from the translators and they just uploaded it ready to go live along with everything else, and the guy accidentally hit send. That's my pure guess, because it has gone to the apps as well as Warcom. There you go. Cool. Hey, Tesphus Expedition, where is it? Here we go. It's good that we have this. Although this was undoubtedly a mistake by G-Dubs, it's great that they've put it out. You know, like I will do a whole thing on it later. But for example, I had a very brief look around, aka I read stuff on Reddit and people complained. But basically, everybody that gets the review copies from GW never ever looks through any of this stuff. So a lot of people that wanted to know, oh, cool, what is the Tesphus Expedition? What is this? Like, I was the only one that actually flicked through it. And I didn't even do like a proper deep dive. I just flicked through it and said, oh, yeah, this is a thing. And I showed the pictures so that you guys could see it. Nobody else does that. Nobody. Kill Team is such a competitive, focused game, and that's where it is online as well, that, you know, the people that get review copies have obviously got in there, have a big enough following to get those review copies because they are focused on what people want to watch, which is competitive in general. or at least matched play, shall we say? Doesn't have to be competitive or tournament. It can be match play if you want to use that vernacular. So whenever people get their books, their review copies, probably don't even read the narrative side, the campaign stuff, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame. If I'm honest, I actually didn't really like this Tesphus Expedition edition. I didn't think it was as fun as Blood and Zeal, as Typhon, and as Tomb World, but it's there. It's fine. Cool. It's a good edition for those that want this very specific type of edition. But to me, it's not as good as like a random selection of things that you can add to a single game to make it more narrative and fluffy, as Typhon, Tomb World, and Blood and Zeal. Actually, and the ones before it too. I thought the Volcus Stronghold compound from I can't remember what was the Wrecker Crew. I can't remember, but the Wrecker Crew and the Rattlings, that was a great addition as well. So bit of a letdown this one, but there you go. Cool. All right. Well, there you go, everybody. I will see you back here in two weeks into January, probably on a Wednesday when this pops off. And I will be sure to discuss what they've actually done, which hopefully will be a touch to Deathwatch, Canoptech, Wolf Scouts, and Tau. Again, I've said it before, I don't think Deathwatch are that bad, but others do, so they probably should be touched. There you go. Cool. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a good one. See you soon. Bye.